Ang hirap kumilos 'pag heartbroken 'no, kasi wala ka masyadong choice para magpahinga. Tayong mga alipin ng salapi, magpahinga lang tayo ng kaunti, iisipin na natin na walang biyayang papasok, walang perang papasok kasi hard work means so much to us. Isa din sa mga realidad ng buhay, kahit heartbroken ka man, frustrated, wala kang choice kundi kumilos kasi privilege na yung makapagpahinga ka, pumunta ka sa isang therapist, i-process yung nararamdaman mo such as heartbreak, such as breakup. Pero kasi iba sa atin walang pangtustos sa mga therapy, walang privilege like going to a therapist. And iba sa atin, the only choice that we have is to stay productive. Kasi somehow, alongside staying productive, we know for the fact that we are still contributing to our future success. Uunahan ko na kayo. Some of you like to stay productive to distract yourself from whatever feelings or situation that you're currently dealing with. Pero I want you to remember, staying productive without acknowledging your pain, your heartbreak, and your grief will not make you heal completely. Productivity is useless without acknowledging some other areas of your life, such as your psychological health, mental health, or emotional health. So, in this podcast, I'd like to highlight the importance of processing your emotions, of acknowledging your heartbreak, acknowledging your pain, but at the same time, it's still possible to stay productive and meeting the demands in your life, such as your goals, your plans, yung mga gusto mong gawin. Kasi personally, in my own experience, it's hard to stay productive knowing that there is heartbreak on the background. Yun yung realistic approach eh. You cannot just, ignore what you feel just so that you can maintain that level of productivity. Sometimes you need to take a pause kasi it's okay to rest, to take time, to take pauses for you to process what you feel. And that, my friend, is can be the most productive thing to do. Welcome to the newest episode of the Art of Validation podcast. VK here. And today is, yes, finally a comeback on my part kasi I have been a wall for like 7 or more months. Kasi guys, just a little update ha. I work with my professional job this year. So yun, sabi ko talaga sa sarili ko, I have to focus on this because I'm trying to adjust myself with the work kasi hindi siya madali. And knowing for me, I can only focus on one thing. I cannot focus and juggle everything kasi mako-compromise yung productivity and yung performance ko. So sabi ko talaga, if I really want to last with this work, I have to like, compromise a little bit of my time so that I can focus and master it. So I guess I am a little bit, you know, um, good at it na, I can manage my time, I can manage my schedule, I can, accept other things such as filming a podcast. Kasi part of it also is you guys have been demanding me, you have been bombarding me with a lot of suggestions na, Kuya, when is the next episode? And I'm so sorry because I know some of you have been disclosing that this has become your safe space. And yun yung goal natin ha. This podcast is a safe space for all of us. And I apologize if I have been away for a while. Kasi may personal life din ako. Tao din po tayo ha. Survival mode din po tayo. Paminsan-minsan. So, the very first episode for this comeback is how to stay productive if you are dealing with heartbreak now. Gustuhin man natin or hindi, may mga pagkakataon talaga that, we stumble, we fumble, we fail to stay productive kasi nga may dinideal tayo. Okay naman yun. Yun naman yung realistic approach. If you're dealing with something right now, focus on that. It's okay if you're not productive on the things that you are usually productive about. Acknowledge the things that you feel because those feelings can sometimes get in the way. It can affect your focus, your mental health, your performance, which we do not like. Kasi alam natin na talented ka, matalino ka, it's just that sometimes, you encounter heartbreaks that makes you a little bit less focused sa ginagawa mo or, less accomplished even sa ginagawa mo. But I believe you're still good at it. You're still good at making yourself productive. Personally, in my case, the different things that I have used or I have reminded myself while also dealing with a heartbreak. Ito yung mga bagay na I keep reminding myself every time that I encounter a heartbreak. Number one, acknowledge your feelings. Kasi gets ko na di ka na pinapansin. Di ka niya na pinapansin. Pero dapat ba di mo din pinapansin yung nararamdaman mo? Huy, wag mong i-ignore. I-acknowledge mo. Lagyan mo ng meaning. Give yourself a permission to cry, to feel the pain. Kung masakit, tap your chest. Like, do me a favor and tap your chest. Huwag kang papasok sa work na hindi mo ina-acknowledge yung nararamdaman mo. Kasi napakabigat nun yung pilit mong dinadala nang hindi mo ina-acknowledge. Paano ba dapat i-acknowledge? Okay, spend any time of the day where you express what you really feel. If gusto mong umiyak, umiyak ka. Personally, for me, I'd like to cry and I'd like to process my emotions before bedtime. Minsan 10 p.m. Kasi I cannot go through the day without acknowledging what I'm feeling, without reflecting on my experiences. Kasi time and time, parang nagkakaroon ka ng better perspective. Even if that means repeating the scenario in your head. Kahit paulit-ulit mo mang, iniisip yung nangyari, time and time, makakabuo ka ng bagong perspective. Makakabuo ka ng bagong meaning sa nangyari and doon mo makikita yung closure na hinahanap mo. Gets? So, first is acknowledge your feelings. Don't bottle it up because it's important that there is time of the day where we reflect with our emotions and the pain that we're going through. Yourself deserve that. Number 2, create a gentle routine. Emphasis on gentle. Iba sa atin talagang hardcore eh. Like, nililiteral natin yung pagiging hardworking to the point na talagang every day you have to give your 100%. Okay naman yun kung masusustain mo, pero realistically, iba sa atin hindi talaga kayang sustain yun. Dagdag mo pa yung heartbreak that will stop you from giving your 100% energy and effort. Sometimes, it's not necessary that you give your 100% on one thing. And it's really a skill if you know how to create a gentle routine where you are, you don't think that you have to give your best all the time kasi napaka-exhausting nun. Ang pangit naman na parang on your way to your goals and plans, most of the time exhausted ka. Sometimes talagang what makes you stick around with your goals and your plans is those moments of pauses where you reflect that, I need a rest. I need time to reflect. I need time where, I don't feel like I need to give my 100% and my best. Kasi, We all need that. We all need to be self compassionate and acknowledging that our bodies and our psychological health need pauses. So, create a gentle routine as much as possible kasi sometimes papasok ka ng wasak, ng lonely, ng devastated. Dagdag mo pa yung pagiging people pleaser mo na people are expecting na dapat happy-go-lucky ka, that you are positive, that you are, that you can, that people can easily depend on you. Dagdag mo pa yung ganong mga expectations sa'yo. So, if you don't break from that expectations, if you don't break from your people-pleasing character, people will assume na kaya mo lahat, that you don't need help. Where in fact, even the most positive person, even the person that we depend on, sometimes they need someone to reach out on them. Even people pleasers, they need somebody to please them. So it's important that we break in these roles, like for example, pagiging breadwinner, pagiging people pleaser, if we are dealing something so serious such as a heartbreak. And you can definitely come back and fulfill those roles. If happy ka naman sa pagiging people pleaser, sa pagiging class clown, walang problema doon. Pero if you're dealing with something and you can, you know, can be honest with what you feel na hindi mo kayang magiging people pleaser today or maging class clown today or maging positive today, gawin mo yun. Your self deserve that. Your emotional self deserve that. Number 3 is to find comfort in familiar habits. Alam nyo ba, I always watch my favorite TV shows because knowing the ending and the outcome of those shows, sometimes they offer a sense of comfort. Especially pag na-anxious ako, I always rewatch those shows and movies kasi somehow it helps me gain control over my situation. Knowing the outcome of those movies, it offers a sense of comfort. And, kahit maliit na sense of comfort lang, at least you're gaining control of your own personal life. And, familiar habits are really important, whether it's your morning cup of coffee, a daily walk, or even just checking off your to-do list provide a sense of comfort. Yung mga bagay lang na nakokontrol mo, it's important, to commit on those things because somehow you are still in charge of them. You are still have a control over the situation and let go of the things such as heartbreak, which, by the way, you have no control with. You have no control with your feelings because, they happen and you organically feel those emotions. Hindi mo talaga makokontrol yun. And sometimes just going back on the habits that we love, creating new small routines that can help us gain a sense of control is really important. It will remind us, that everything is going to be fine. I'm still in charge here. Sometimes it may affect me. It may affect my attention, my focus, my productivity, but I still have routines and things that I like which I still have a control over with. So over time, they can serve as reminders that life does go on, that you are capable of thriving even when things feel difficult. Adulting 101 is you can't wait for your heart to be totally okay before you could fulfill your to-do list. Kasi once you overcome and accomplish something while also being heartbroken, the bigger rewards you will earn. And number 4 is practice self-compassion. Kung inuuna mo yung ibang tao before, maybe it's about time na ikaw muna. It's hard for you to not be a people pleaser because at the same time, nagigain ka din ng validation from being a people pleaser kasi, you are happy to help people. That's who you are. And I won't change that very fact. Pero kasi pag may pinagdadaanan ka, sometimes you really need to take off from being a people pleaser. And the right people and the people who really cares about you will get the sometimes okay lang muna na hindi ka people pleaser kasi may pinagdadaanan ka. They will get that you are dealing with something, but only if you show them that you are dealing with something. Kasi people pleasers, including myself, sometimes we like to pretend. We like to pretend that everything is okay kasi it's our skill. It's our skill to pretend that we are okay kasi nga we want to please other people. We don't want them to reach out on us. Pero that is a lie. We are depriving ourselves a help. We are not being compassionate towards ourselves if we keep playing a role of being a people pleaser while also dealing with the pain of things like heartbreak and grief and loneliness and rejection and many other things. Sometimes we need to really show that we are dealing with something in order for people to reach out on us. And for me, people pleasing is very unkind. It's very unkind to ourselves because we are playing a role that is not acceptable and applicable in times like, heartbreak, or, you just recently experienced a heartbreak. And number five is to channel your energy. Maybe this is the time that you take yourself seriously for all the times na, you take yourself for granted. You are just, dismissing the fact na marami kang potential, marami kang plano, marami kang gustong gawin sa buhay, pero lahat yun nawala because you want to prioritize the person that you like so much. You want to prioritize the relationship that, kept dragging you for like long years. And, you know, one good heartbreak can remind you that you have so much potential. And, maybe you don't even realize that the universe removes people from your life. It keeps giving you series of heartbreaks because it wants you to have the version that you really deserve, a version of you that it's much stronger, so much wiser, and a version of you that that you really deserve. For me, yung ibig sabihin ng pagiging productive, especially if you're dealing with heartbreak, is sometimes taking everything at a slower pace. Taking slow days is productive. Being at your own pace without the need to hassle with everyone else is productive. Crying is productive. And acknowledging your heartbreak is productive. Being an adult is doing every responsibilities that you have, even if that means that you have an ongoing heartbreak. But on the bright side, it's a privilege that you are able to get productive, that you are able to have opportunities and roles to fulfill. Privilege din yon. Although nasa face ka ng heartbreak or breakup, you need to like change your perspective around things na, this is life. Sometimes you can't really tell if when ka mag-heal. Sometimes just going through, dealing with everything, dealing with the things that you know you're good at is the most productive thing to do. I think the saddest part about being productive is that sometimes we like to think that it can help us get distracted from dealing our own heartbreak. Kasi you can be the most hardworking person. You can do every responsibilities that you have. You can fulfill every task that you have. You can finish all of those, everything that is on your checklist. Pero once you are done with everything, once you are done with everything that is on your checklist, you will now face your greatest fears, the things that you have been avoiding, your emotional baggages. And if you are someone who doesn't know how to process them, you know, you will get to ask yourself, productive ka ba? Yes, everyone is proud of you that you are productive, but healed ka ba? Are you proud na productive ka nga, pero at the same time, you admit to yourself na there are things that I haven't fully healing from. And it makes you happy that you are productive. It makes you feel good that you are productive. But the moment that you realize na hindi ka pa pala healed sa mga bagay na ina-avoid mo, it will take the happiness that you felt earlier. I appreciate your productivity, ha. Pero I want you to know that productivity cannot always help you with your pain. It cannot always help you with your heartache. And you cannot always use productivity as a way to escape those things. Because sometimes the most productive thing that we can do is to sit with our emotions and acknowledge the things that we have been hiding. And I hope we can find people that we can reach to and share those things. Kasi hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon sa lamesa, dapat yung pinag-uusapan, puro pangarap. May mga pagkakataon na dapat pinag-uusapan din yung mga pinagdadaanan, yung mga pangyayari, at yung mga sakit. And sometimes, that is the most productive thing that we can do for today.